Well, another week.
Another week.
It has started.
Yes,
Good morning. I'm Rayford Brown.
I'm Kelly Knapp.
And I'm Lee Barrels.
And we welcome y'all to the live and local Real Talk right here out of Jacksonville, North Carolina. If you're listening from somewhere else in the world, and after looking at a bunch of stuff over the weekend, we seem to have people. We either attract some weird folks out there way far away, or they're just listening. Maybe they're just scrolling around and they finally found us.
Okay.
We're a couple steps closer as of Friday, was it? Whatever day it was.
Mm-hmm. Friday.
I was actually up on the internet radio.
Yes, you were.
And for a while, I didn't know it. So I don't think I said anything at any time that was demeaning, but we actually had some listeners that tuned in. And I wasn't even in the room.
Nice.
Something went into automation, and we ended up playing a few commercials that we had in our queue. And it was a little bit late to help anybody.
Right.
Because it had, it was kind of weird. Did I say somebody? I had somebody at my front door.
I heard something. I heard talking. Yeah.
Oh, well. Robbie, you can get that.
Do we need to shut our door?
No doubt.
No, don't, please. I'm in a mood. Hard to find a place to start this morning, given all the political garbage, the fallout, the about faces, the continuing saga about what the media is calling a big surprise win for Donald Trump. No, it was not. That's okay. Let's go good first. What do you think? We'll get to that later. Let's go good this morning.
Let's go good. What a day we had Saturday.
Well, that's exactly right.
Yes.
Dateline Saturday. Jacksonville, North Carolina, 8 a.m. Dozens and dozens and dozens of cars and trucks and pretty much anything that would ride on the highway, including a trailer-mounted submarine. Okay, yeah, there was a sub in the parade. Gathered in the parking lots of Coastal Carolina Community College Saturday morning, other than a flag manufacturing company. I doubt that more U.S. flags have been displayed in such a small space as the flags that we saw proudly flown, flying high and proud by the folks who were participating in the Veterans Parade all along Western Boulevard. Thank you to the crowd that was there. I don't remember a Veterans Parade in quite some time like that one.
Can I say kudos to Paul Levesque
and
Rolling Thunder and the other organizations that were involved in this, because the turnout was fantastic. It was probably the best we've seen in the last 3-4 years or more.
Absolutely. The patriotic theme was a winner, of course, and those who participated along with everyone else who lined Western Boulevard gave me a good feeling. Americanism is alive and well in Onslow County.
Oh, everyone was so patriotic, flags everywhere, wearing apparel that was patriotic. And
if you were one of those, thank you. If you were lining the parade route, thank you. We all had a blast. That Jeep group, oh my God.
Weren't they
fantastic? Oh, they were good. Of course, I got a Jeep, but we weren't riding my Jeep. We were riding a pick-em-up truck.
Yes.
Courtesy of
me.
Spit and Shine.
Yes, I did.
I'll tell you what, you Marines out there, you know how to choose. I know you do. I know how to. But I'll tell you what, that truck was so shiny. I was getting blinded by myself, by my own.
It was like standing in front of a mirror.
It was.
I'm almost like, I can see. Yeah, but I was going to make it. You had to look good for us.
Oh, you done good. Theo was there with his family. Thank you, Theo.
Thank you, Theo.
And thank you. We didn't get a chance to thank you on the air Friday because
we did.
Did we get it on
the air? Yes, we did.
All right. Well, good. Anyway, suddenly during the show Friday, the gentleman comes to the door. We've seen him before, so he didn't get shot. He came to the door and came on in and had a big old box of chow. So I ate. We all ate.
Yes.
I
did. It was very good. It was so good.
At up here at Helen's Kitchen, this is where he got it. They have country ham. They also have something called city ham.
Yes.
What is the difference between city ham and country ham?
Well, country ham is like
salty.
Yeah.
It's like dried.
It's salt cured.
Yeah, salt cured. It's hung up and dried.
It's one's called city and one's called country. Can't you have country ham in the city? Salty ham? Can
sure you can.
Do they not allow it?
Blood pressure issues, I would recommend you do city ham, but
Yes, because country
Too
ham
late
is
now.
very
country ham will
salty.
tear you down.
Oh, it was some kind
It's
of good.
good,
So
though.
thank you.
Oh, it's very good. I love it.
And then there was Kathy and her folks.
Yes, hey
All
Kathy, hey Robert.
omnipresent they are. They're always there. Yes, Elizabeth. It was a
Elizabeth,
little
too.
breezy in the beginning, and I don't blame you one little bit for wrapping up in a blanket because that breeze.
Oh,
It
yes.
felt good, but it was chilly.
Mm-hmm.
And then the breeze stopped about halfway down the parade route, and
But
then
you
it got
know what?
hot.
The breeze was just perfect to fly the flags.
It was. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, we could not fly the flag on the way home.
All right.
I'll go there later. Active duty Marines and sailors, I saw you. Thank you. Veterans, so many folks in this community are veterans that you sort of just assume everyone you know or meet has prior military experience when you're around here. You walk up, what branch were you in? Not everybody is, of course,
Right.
but a big chunk of the people in this county, this community, are veterans. A lot of
That's
them
right.
got out of the Marine Corps, and they either stayed or they came back, even decades later. If the people you meet and you say, hey, what branch were you in? Or no, I wasn't. But they have families, some maybe a couple generations. I think probably the vast majority of the people, civilian-wise today, are either veterans, have family members who have served. Just because their duty, this is something that I was thinking about the other day because it came up. Just because their duty was not fighting on the front lines in some foreign war zone does not mean they are not heroes. Without the supply teams that assemble and deliver the needed food, bombs, and bullets, and yes, the mail and paychecks for those who are serving on the front lines, without those folks who keep the trucks, Humvees, and the boats and the helicopters and all that stuff running, without the communications teams that make sure the guys in harm's way stay in contact, and who can forget the Combat Marines BFF? Who can forget the Navy Corpsman? Not a Marine that I know of. The docks out there. It takes a whole lot more than just a village to keep this nation running. And it's people, all of us, safe. More people out there to do that than a lot of folks around us anywhere, except Eastern North Carolina, can understand. We know, we feel it. We see it every day. I've heard how much that Jacksonville depends on the military industry. Yeah, well, that's absolutely true.
True.
Every businessman, those with half a brain, our chambers of commerce, all understand that. It's always great to see local businesses supporting our military, giving breaks to active duty folks, some even to those who served decades ago. We in the civilian community out here should also thank those businesses. If you know a business that's thanking the active duty military or the veterans by giving them a perk here and there or whatever, thank them for doing that.
Golden Corral.
Golden Corral.
Feeding the veterans today for free.
Yep. But some places do it all the time. Lowe's, home builders. You're a veteran, you can get a discount. Just have to apply for it. Put it in there. They'll do it. Yeah, these guys, these businesses, they reap the rewards of being in the community with the greatest young men and women living here. And those businesses are so supportive of our friends and neighbors who wear the uniform. But they don't do it for recognition. They do it just because. To our civilian community, when you hear of a restaurant, any organization supporting our Marines, sailors, coasties, soldiers, tell them thank you for doing just that. And thanks again on this, the 11th day of the 11th month, coming up shortly at the 11th hour. That will be 1100 hours this morning, folks, when we observe Veterans Day. Thank you, all who have served and those who continue to serve the greatest nation that is current or has ever been and will be this way forever, these 50 United States of America.
Makes me proud to be the daughter of a Marine.
Yep, should be.
Very much so.
You know what I found out?
What did you find
out? A
out?
little bit of research. How many active duty members of our military are there right now?
Oh, I could not begin to tell you.
How many would you think? You know, we've got to remove the Coast Guard now from the military ranks because they're not part of the military anymore. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. They are now Homeland Security.
Oh,
And have been for a
okay.
number of years. They're law enforcement.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Yeah, they
Way
got
back.
law enforcement for many years under the Department of Transportation. Would you believe that? Prior to 9/11, unless they came on during time of war, they were transferred over to the Department of Navy.
Right.
But now they're Department of Homeland Security. So we don't count them in this military numbers anymore. Active duty military numbers.
Right.
How many would you think there are active duty on any given day?
I couldn't begin to guess. I could Google it real quick, but that'd be
100,000?
cheating.
500,000? 5 million?
Millions.
1.29 million.
Wow.
That's active duty. If you add in the active duty and reserve units, like the Guard and the Reserve Army and
Right.
Navy Reserve, you got a total of a little over 2 million.
Wow.
We have the world's third largest army by manpower.
World's third largest. All right. How about by artillery power?
How about smarts? How about perseverance? I think we're number one there. Of
So
course.
definitely one in perseverance.
Name the 5 branches of the U.S. Armed Services.
Army,
Navy,
Marine Corps, Navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Coast Guard.
Coast Guard's not anymore.
Okay.
Who are we forgetting?
Space Corps or whatever they're
Yes.
called.
The Space Force, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Space Force. Yeah.
Army is the largest branch.
Yeah.
The majority of active duty military personnel are stationed inside the United States and its territories. The U.S. military size has remained consistent since 1998, growing or shrinking by less than 3% every year. Any given year. It's the same size now as it was in 1998. The percentage of women in the active duty military has increased
Sure.
by almost 3%
Wow.
since 2005. So we're getting more women in there.
Go girls.
Yeah, go girls.
Go girls.
Yeah. So for you folks who are active duty, you folks who have been in the past at one time or another, thank you, all of y'all. It is
Thank you.
Veterans Day.
You see a veteran, say thank you. And every day of the year.
I don't know how much is shrinking or increasing because, you know, we got almost 16 million veterans, which I thought was a low number. 16 million
16
out of
million.
325 million or whatever we got in this
Wow.
country. That's a fairly small percentage. Wonder what it was right after World War II when everybody came home and for the years after that. Wonder how many veterans there were then. I'm sure the percentage wise was much.
Yep.
Okay, what's on your mind?
What's on our
Anything
mind?
good?
No, I'm still trying to get past Saturday. It was such a great day. Such a good day.
It was a great day. I had a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
It was just
And good people up dancing to the military songs we
Yes.
were playing.
and the
we were doing
dogs.
that.
Kelly,
Oh,
tell me
my
about the
God.
dogs.
Dogs
so
here
many-
to the left of us,
Many
to the right of
pups
us.
out there, both in the parade
Mhm.
and on the, watching from the sides of the road with their owners. Lots of pups.
And the one that was riding shotgun in one of those Jeeps out there.
They had goggles
There was
on.
two. The little
Yes.
golden retriever who was angry that his mama, who he is
Oh.
a service dog for, was up with the grand marshal. He had to ride with his daddy. He was.
poor
I
baby.
petted him. He was not a happy camper. And then there was the big. I think it was a Labradoodle that was in one of the Jeeps. And then there was some kind of brown.
He was
That brown dog. I don't know what he was. He was.
Yeah, Yeah,
what
the
the
one that
round
I
dog
saw.
was.
The one
Yeah.
I saw was riding the passenger side
Yeah.
of the Jeep and proud and
Mhm.
wearing
Yes.
his goggles.
That was the golden. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The unhappy goat. He was pouting earlier. That's what his owner told me. He
Yeah.
has pajamas on there. And if you didn't notice, the little shirt thing he had on had ducks on it
I saw
because he was
that.
in the Jeep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Duck, duck.
Yeah.
Duck,
Duck,
duck, go.
Jeep, Jeep.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Wow.
it was a good, I can't say enough how happy and overjoyed I was to see the amount of people that were there. And I am going to give kudos to like Rolling Thunder because I think
Yes.
this year's parade
Put it
was
together.
heavily advertised.
Yes.
I noticed on Western in the week to this, there were electronic billboards
Yes.
advertising.
Yes.
I think in years past it wasn't as
It
advertised.
wasn't
And
pushed
the
as much.
crowds
It
weren't
was
big, but
just-
this was amazing. And I
It
mean,
was.
kudos to them for advertising. And
Yes.
I mean, this was a lot of people there. They were lined up
was.
like almost like not as many as a Christmas parade, but I'm telling you what, getting close to those numbers,
Right.
getting there.
I was impressed. And,
I
and
was too.
the
I was
flags
just
and
very thankful.
very, very thankful. Because I'll be honest, I went into it worried.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest that I know what the turnout was last year, so I was a little
Well,
worried.
when we rounded
Mhm.
the bend, turning
And
onto
I
Western
saw those
Boulevard,
people, I
I'm like,
gasped.
"Holy moly."
If you were,
I know.
I mean, I absolutely gasped. I was like, "Holy cow!"
we could just say, wow.
It brought tears to your eyes.
It did.
Right, right.
And I'm not a crier.
You
so-
know, I love the Christmas parade, but me personally,
I love
I
all
think
parades.
the Veterans Parade is more important.
It is.
And to see that kind of a turnout, it was just great.
Christmas parade is for kids.
I mean,
Of all-
I
of
love the
all
Christmas
ages.
parade.
It's
It's
for kids.
fun, and thank
Love it.
goodness they've gone back to calling it the Christmas parade. It used to be
That's
the
what it is.
holiday
It
parade.
always was the Christmas
Yeah,
parade.
you used
Y'all
to call it
what
the
you-
holiday.
You can
No.
call it what you want. I'm
It's the
going to call it
Christmas
what it
parade, same.
is.
That's like at the post office. We weren't allowed to say Merry Christmas. We might have anyway. We weren't. We had to be respectful of other cultures and
But
say
you
Happy
can say
Holiday.
you can
Respectful.
say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Is it Happy Kwanzaa? I think
Yeah.
it's Happy Kwanzaa. That's the three. I mean Yule for like the pagans. So that's four. I think there's four. It might be five. I know
don't
about
know.
the four.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
So
run down the
happy
list.
is it Happy Yule? But anyway, if you want to say it all, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and Happy Yule. I don't know if
That's
Happy
a lot to say.
holidays does not mean a whole lot.
that was
agree.
so
Holiday
blasé.
is
Yeah.
a vacation.
It is.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is much more important than
Agreed.
your vacation.
I agree.
Speaking of vacations, what was on TV yesterday and last night? National Lampoon's Christmas.
Really?
Oh, that's a requirement in our
Oh
household
my
for putting up the
gosh.
tree, and that has passed on to my kids. They
I
do it at their house too.
Best ever
Absolutely,
made.
we do not put our tree
Is
up
there
without that
anything
movie
about
playing.
that you do not know?
I can almost recite the whole thing. I even have a
Oh,
shirt with
yes.
it on. That
Oh,
red
yes.
sweatshirt I have is why is the carpet all wet, Todd? Yeah, one of my favorite lines. But yeah, and squirrel.
Squirrel. That's my favorite part of the
It's
whole
like,
movie.
that movie is the best
Maybe
part.
this year I'll get a chance to watch it.
You've never watched that movie?
Oh,
Of course
Hey,
not.
what is wrong
Sit
with
down
you?
there. A lot.
Oh my gosh, it's
Lightning is about to
classic.
crash through the ceiling here.
You can't go
Rayford.
through Christmas
You
without
cannot.
watching that movie.
Oh,
It's
Rayford.
epic.
We're gonna, Lee. We're gonna make a date. We're gonna come over here and watch it with Rayford.
That's right.
Just so we can
That's
ensure
right.
he's
We're going to do that. We're gonna bring the
Rayford. I
popcorn.
cannot believe I've known you as long as I have and never known that you have not ever watched Christmas.
Any feelings they would be hurt.
Well, we're about to unhurt him.
We're going to wear our jammies. We're going
We
to bring
are.
popcorn and caramel corn and whatever else, and we're going to watch the movie together.
I'll go to sleep.
Lee,
No,
I
you won't.
cannot believe he has not watched that movie.
I'll
yeah,
go to sleep.
That's un-American.
it is Rayford.
Can I have a fireplace going? Can I have
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
fireplace?
Yeah.
I guarantee I'll be
No,
asleep.
no, we're not. Then we're gonna watch it in the middle of the day.
Well, we're
I
going
still
to
put a
be
fire on.
hitting you with sticks and
Yeah,
stuff to wake
yeah.
you up.
Yeah,
You can't sleep during that movie. It's classic.
that movie
I
is
bet I
epic.
can.
Oh my god, that movie is great. Yeah,
I
and,
bet I have.
and that movie is like because some of the things in that movie has happened to everybody. The dinner,
Yes.
overcooking the turkey, and
Yeah.
the fighting amongst the relatives.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
The deer,
it happened.
The Jello
the
pudding.
deer has been a guest of honor on several occasions at my Christmas events.
Well, this has a squirrel, and this squirrel is a
Star.
squirrel.
The squirrel was the squirrel.
If I can't get the deer, I'll settle for a couple dozen squirrels.
I love the way that squirrel came out of the Christmas
It
tree.
came out of
Oh,
that thing.
never laughed so hard.
And then, going to cut a tree out of the woods and forgetting a saw.
Yes.
So they come back with the entire tree.
Now, I've got a story about that. Would you like to hear it?
Have you done that?
It's been better.
What have you done?
It's not. I did it.
Mm-hmm.
We went diving just before Christmas one year.
Okay.
My two buddies and I.
Mm-hmm.
Our mentor basically is the guy who kind of took us under his wing and taught us to dive. And my cousin Ron and I, we were probably 20, 22 years old at the time.
Okay.
So we had gone down out of Porter's Neck area. I forgot exactly where and why we went. It was cold, of course. It's wintertime.
Yeah.
And it was well after Thanksgiving, maybe a week or so. So we were out there and we had done our dive and on the way back and coming along the Intercoastal Waterway, headed back to the marina, to the boat ramp. So says, stop. Well, we had a 17-foot boat.
Yeah, you don't just stop on a dime, but I hear you.
You can. So he said, go over there.
Everybody goes in the water.
So no, we ain't getting no. But we get over there we did that one time before. But anyway, on this one, we made its way to the bank. I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm getting a Christmas tree.
A Christmas tree?
Christmas tree.
Was one floating in the water?
No, it was on that island, the barrier island. It's an unoccupied barrier island. But he gets out and there's a Christmas tree. It's a cedar tree. It didn't matter. He always wanted a full Christmas tree that he went to the bushes and cut into the woods.
That's too much work.
Oh, it's worse than that.
Okay.
Where's the saw? We don't have a saw on a boat to go Christmas tree shopping.
Surely you had a machete or something.
He had his dive knife.
Okay.
He goes over there, and I'm hearing him hacking and hacking and hacking and hacking. He comes dragging a 30-foot Christmas tree.
No way.
Most of it was just the trunk. So he gets over there. He says, can you boys help me cut off a little bit of this? When we got through cutting off the next section, we laid that tree on the boat, and then we got in amongst the branches of that tree.
Oh, heck no.
And we held on to it till we got back to the dock, and we tied it, lashed it to the boat. The tree was as long as
How did you get it home?
On the boat.
No, but once you got off the boat.
That was not my problem.
Okay.
When we rolled up in his front yard, we rolled that sucker off and kept on trucking.
One year we decided to cut a tree down from the woods.
I don't do that.
We used to do it all the time. That was standard procedure.
Well, look, I will never do that again.
What?
It was like walking, the pine needles that kept hitting the floor. It was like walking on razor blades.
Oh, yeah.
I never cussed so much in my life. And as soon as the presents were open, I took all the ornament. I mean, before we even cleaned up the wrapping.
You're supposed to keep it lubricated.
That tree was out the door and over the fence. Never again.
Back here in the day, of course, usually about 2 days after Christmas, that tree was down. My mom had already stripped it, and we had to take it out. And immediately, we take it out to the edge of the bushes out there.
Yes.
And it is so. You strike a match within 20 feet of it, and it goes. Shoof.
Wow.
It makes you want to
supposed to keep it watered, Rayford.
We were in the woods.
No,
I know that, but my mom didn't do things like that.
So when you didn't set the woods on fire.
She put the tree up a week before Christmas and took it down immediately.
I'm gonna tell you what, I love the fresh smell. I love
you can buy
having
a
real tree, but I've gone to the artificial route. I have to stick with that.
Yeah, you can put all that stuff. And if you want to, if you got a fireplace like we had, just throw a few live branches from a pine tree in it.
That's a lot of sparks, isn't it?
No, it just burns and it smells so good.
Okay.
Marine forecast brought to you by my fellow boating enthusiasts, by the Prevention Services of Jacksonville. The recent presidential election has brought out the best and the worst in a whole lot of people. Is getting mad all that bad when you're talking about those who won and lost? If you're one of those who just can't let it go, we're reading about them every day, is there some definitive period of time before you should just back off that? Whether it's the outcome of an election or something else that has gotten under your skin, how long should you let it fester before you let it go? Are there issues that have become all-consuming, perhaps to the point that it interferes with your relationships with your friends, your colleagues, your family? Do you feel bad and question whether you may be overreacting? If you blow up at people at events out of your control, it might be time to bite the bullet and seek the help of a counselor, a professional that will actually listen to you. Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville, located at 918 Henderson Drive, has counselors who will listen to you. They'll work with you to find a solution. They won't judge you, and they won't share with anyone anything that you want to talk about. Community Prevention Services accepts most insurance plans as well. Give them a call today to schedule some one-on-one time. 910-30972. 910-353-0972. You're mad right now. You got family coming over, or you're going to be visiting family or friends over the upcoming holidays. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Going to be mad when you get there because not everybody's going to see it your way in any gathering. Offshore, out to 20 nautical miles, marine conditions will improve after the weekend's post-frontal wind surge. That was the good news. Today, not too bad, but it might be challenging for boats in the ocean. Southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 4 to 5 feet, 3 to 4 near shore, 4-foot waves from the southeast every 8 seconds, mixed in with 2-foot waves from the east every 9 seconds. Makes it a little choppy on the ocean. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop. Northerly winds 15 to 20 with gusts to 25 knots, seas 4 to 5 feet, except 3 feet near shore. Sounds and rivers choppy. Northeasterly winds Wednesday 15 to 20, seas 4 to 6. Sounds and rivers choppy.
Today, partly sunny, a high of 76. Tonight, mostly clear, low of 54. I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all, today will be the warmest day of the week.
You're no fun.
Starting tomorrow,
Yeah.
sunny, a high of 69 with north winds 7 to 13 miles an hour and 18 mile an hour gusts. Tomorrow night, clear, low of 41. And on Wednesday, sunny with a high of 62.
Ma.
It's going to be in the 60s for the rest of the week after today.
Didn't you say, Rayford, there was going to be some cold nights coming up this week?
Oh, yeah, 42 on Friday, 42 on Saturday.
Wait a minute, that's Friday night
on
football.
That'll
Wednesday.
be good.
And I think we had Chris Miller was trying to call.
Okay, it's
Okay.
going to be
Sure.
in the, Chris, call back.
Hey, he's
There?
here. Hey,
Okay.
Chris. Good morning. How are you?
No, I think he hung up.
Yeah.
Why'd you hang up, Chris?
Because Rayford didn't answer on time. But that's all right.
I'm
Yeah.
talking. I can't answer.
Next time I'll jump up and do it.
You
Yeah.
jump
Do it.
across
I might be-
Rayford.
Yeah.
like, what's
I'll just
going on?
reach
What's
around and hit the button. I have something I want to bring up. And
Okay,
I
go
don't know how many people have seen this, and I'm over here reading about it now. It's just, I have seen a lot of things. And
Oh,
the 4B movement has gained traction
The what?
since you're gonna like this one. The 4B movement has gained traction since Trump was elected. And basically it's women swearing off men. So they are saying they are no marriage, no childbirth, no dating men, and no having sex with men. All right. And one person even posted, we can't let these men have the last laugh. We need to bite back. I mean, this is, I can't. They think that this will give America a sharp decline. I can't. We'll come back to this. Hey, Chris.
We go back into that after Miller time here.
And Chris, I guess there's some bad news for you out there, right? Women are going to swear off men.
Yeah.
If he's married. He don't care.
Yeah, I'm married, so I don't care. So
Well, did your wife tell you who she voted for?
Well, she's married to him. She is happy with Chris. So
Yeah.
we're all good with
All
that.
these women that were told not to tell their husbands who they voted for. I mean, serious.
That's just stuff. What's up, Chris?
Well, my political 2 cents for a second. To each his own. People have to make their own decisions.
Correct.
But I did read a report on social media or on the news that all these women that are swearing off, doing this and doing that, and somebody made the comment, well, if you had that much restraint to begin with, we wouldn't have to worry about the abortion at all.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like that.
Those are not my words. That's something I'm from a news report that I saw the other day.
Yeah, we won't kill the messenger.
So, hey, another can of worms that we need to open up, Rayford. You were talking about Christmas movies. So the biggest question of all is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes. No.
It is.
Yes. Chris, I told you not to do that.
Yes, it is. It takes.
we can have a whole whole show worth of conversation talking about Die Hard.
We do.
Chris, we got 6 weeks to go to that date, and so we got 6 weeks to discuss it. Holy moly!
Thank you,
this
Chris.
is gonna be
Thank you,
fun.
Chris. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, you're welcome. I think we're just in the mood to open up some can of worms this morning.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna open up a can of whip. You know what?
Okay, let's talk about something important.
The schedule's out.
Mhm.
Yes, the high school football playoff brackets were released early yesterday evening. National Cardinals, surprise, surprise, they are in the playoffs.
Yep.
They are going to be at home on Friday in the first round.
Yay!
They
Yes.
are hosting West Carteret. So this is a rematch from a game that they played earlier this season. If you guys remember, that was one of those games that
They scored first.
Jacksonville had
Right.
to play on a Tuesday.
Yes.
And they won the game 21-10,
That's
kind of
right.
a grinded out type of game. But they won that game on the Tuesday. I remember covering that game, and and then so they'll play each other again this Friday in the first round of the state playoff.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna make it 2-0, right?
Well, you would think on paper that Jacksonville has the edge. I mean, they've had a week to rest and heal up some injuries, but West Carter is one of those teams where you can't overlook them, and you can't get lazy, and you have to stick to the fundamentals. So I think if Jacksonville comes out and plays like they're supposed to, they'll have a chance to win.
Yeah.
But they'll need to play well because West Carter did give them some issues here and there in that first game. And like I said, it was only 21-10.
Yeah,
So
if I remember correctly, on that game, West Carteret scored first, and we were like going, "What's
They
going
drew first
on?"
blood about.
And
no, I believe they
then
did.
Jacksonville finally started playing. We're like, "Wow!" But yeah, I was looking at the stats for those players, and they.
Now, let me ask you this one: what kind of a passing game does West Carteret have?
Well, see, that's the problem. Is they have a pretty decent passing
Yeah.
game. They don't like to throw the ball for a long game, but what they do is they do these little short passes for 6-7 yards, and that did give Jacksonville a little bit of trouble when they played each other middle of the season. So Jacksonville's gonna. I'm sure they're going to make their adjustments and do what they need to, and have a whole week of practice. Because you remember they are just coming off that victory over New Bern on a Thursday. And then only had a couple days to play, to play West Carteret on a Tuesday. So they didn't really have the full week to prepare. So they'll have a full week to prepare this time, and then they'll, I'm sure Jacksonville. I'm pretty sure they'll play well and pull out the victory, but they don't need to be getting complacent.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed because I pay attention to the passing game because that's where a lot of yards can be picked up with one quick throw. But I've noticed that Jacksonville has interfered with not with the as in pass interference, but they've messed with the guys and they've bounced a few balls around and they've intercepted a couple of recent time in the recent games. So they've been a lot better defensive wise against the passing game. That's my opinion as a very unprofessional observer.
But that's the name of the game is especially when you play in these higher levels in the 3A and 4A ranks, you're going to have teams that throw the ball 30, 40 times a game, and that leaves out more opportunities to try to intercept those passes. So,
that's right.
I think Jacksonville's facing in that category, and they'll definitely need to continue taking strides if they're going to go pretty far. But yeah, they are. They're going to be playing West Carteret at 6-4. Jacksonville's 8-1. So and then Jacksonville's one of 6 teams that made the state football playoffs that they're going to be playing on Friday night.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. It should be a great game. So,
Should be.
Cardinal fans, get your tickets. Let's get on and do it.
It's Monday.
It's Monday.
We need to go in and get our tickets.
Yeah. So, I usually wait till I try to wait
Thursday.
until Wednesday, and then I get them on Friday morning, right after the show, when I'm reminded to did you get your ticket? Okay, I got them. I got it. I'll sit right here and get them.
Yes.
And then I say, Lee, what's that website
Hey,
again?
send me the link.
What is that website, Lee? To get your tickets, you want to get them now, is go to?
Oh, you can just go to Jacksonville High School, but go to the website that's got Onslow K.
Oh, great.
It's the county website for the schools. You can go
And
there.
you'll post it again on our Facebook page.
post it.
Thank you very much.
Onslow.k12.nc.us.
Thank you.
That's too involved. How
Right.
about just not Jacksonville, JHS tickets.
I just go to Jacksonville High School, and then there's got that Onzo K-12 underneath of
Then I
it.
got to keep looking, right?
I click on
That makes
it,
it
then I
like
go
work.
to athletics, and then I go to buy tickets. I'll
Just
put
send me the link.
I'll
and
put
post
the
the
link.
link.
Yes.
God, Chris, they make it.
Which
difficult
game
out
are
there.
you going to Friday night, Chris?
Well, that's the in Rayford. You know this as well as anybody being in the TV business. I have Jacksonville at home on Friday, and then I have White Oak at home on Friday.
Oh no!
Richlands is on the road, Croton's on the road, East Duplin's on the road, and Lejeune's on the road. So those are my
Who
other
is
teams.
White Oak playing?
Chris, if you had the clout, Chris, I think that you have. I think you could go to these two schools and get Jacksonville to move it up an hour, start at 6. Get White Oak to move it down an hour or maybe a little bit more, and start at 9 o'clock.
No, that would be. But you got the one thing I'm considering is, and they're going to most likely be on the road in the second round. Whereas if White Oak wins, they would definitely be at home in the second round.
Okay.
So if I cover Jacksonville in the first round, knowing I may not be able to see them again the next round or two, or do I cover White Oak, who has not won a playoff game in 20-some years? I hate not to be there if they win a playoff game for the first time in 20-some years.
And that's
So
why
those are
you hold a
those are
title.
little decisions. Plus, you got to see who can be the photographers. Since my photographers aren't going to be available this Friday, so you got the. There's a lot of moving pieces that they go into play about where you cover and who you cover and everything. Like that, Rayford, you know
That's
all
tough.
about that.
Yep.
Yeah. So you gotta make sure a lot of it's logistics. That's I'll put it that way.
Well, the advantage that we had back in the day when I was doing that, not me doing it, but ordering the people around, the sports guys, we turned over every photographer to the sports folks for Friday Night Football. They had 5 photogs out there from the news department, plus the 2 sports guys at everyone's at a different game, and usually 1 or 2 reporters that were also one-man bands. They would go out, and then we had also freelancers. We knew them as stringers that covered the outlying areas. So we got it covered, but we had like a dozen people.
Oh yeah, and on that note, how many newsrooms do you think had pizza delivered to the newsrooms last Tuesday night on election day?
68.7%.
We used to always, me and the sports guys used to always give the news folks a hard time because they would always complain, "Oh, we had to work until midnight tonight. It's election night, and
We work till 2 a.m.
At least we get pizza and everything." And we used to always laugh at them. We were like, every Friday night football night is election night for us. So, suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah. There you go. I like that. Good for you. All right, Chris, look forward to seeing you on Friday night. We'll be in the same old spot.
All right, I will call in on Thursday.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks,
Have a good one.
Chris.
Chris Miller, sports editor for the Jacksonville Daily News. A really cool dude.
Yeah, he was
Come a
texting
long
me. He
way
said,
of
"Why don't
this
you ask
story.
Rayford and Kelly about Die Hard?" And I said, "No, we're not starting that." And
We have.
daggone it, he didn't do it.
I love it.
I'll get you,
I do
Chris.
too.
I love it, Chris. Absolutely love it.
We will open the phones up one morning to all y'all.
I know Robin will be the
tomorrow
first.
I'm supposed to have delivered another one of these
What?
magnificent little interface boxes for line
Telephone?
2. For line 2, and that way we will
great.
reconnect line 2 sometime tomorrow, and
Very
hopefully
good.
Wednesday morning she'll be up and running.
Very good. Very, very good.
So that's
Robin will be the first to call.
probably first, second, and third.
Yes. Uh-huh. Uh-oh.
He'll be calling on
I know,
multiple
that's
lines.
fine.
Uh-huh.
Nope. I don't know who this is. It's a name, but
Christensen.
we don't know it. Just
we don't
answer
know
it.
Anyway.
Good morning. You're live and local.
Hey guys,
Hi.
good morning.
This must be Charlie.
Well, I mean, it must be. I'm just randomly calling in. Just wanted to say hi to you guys.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
Hi.
hello.
So let me ask you a question. It's been, 5-6 days since the election. How do you guys feel?
I feel good.
Relieved that it's over, and I don't have to put up with it much longer.
Yes.
So what do you guys what do you expect is going to happen? First of all, I'm a fan of Trump, but what do you guys think is going to happen?
Well, let us ask a couple of questions. What do you think? We're going to turn it around here and put the shoe on the other foot here. What do you think is going to happen?
So I don't understand. Like, I think Trump has limited power. I think the House, the Republicans, the Senate. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but I do think that we need to deport at least 80 or maybe 90% of the people that have been brought into this country in the last, let's say, 3 years.
Uh-huh. Why not 100%? Why not 100%?
Because I think we need good people in this country, and I think there are probably some very good people. You need to vet them. We need to figure out who these people are, if they're really good people that can contribute. Come on, we all know there's some good people that have entered this country in the last few years, correct?
Yeah. How many do we have in this country over the last, I don't know, 4 years, 5 years, whatever? How many do you think have entered the country? I don't know, but I'm asking you. Do you know?
You would think you would be able to go to some sort of website and you would type that information in and you would get an exact number.
You won't.
But because of who these people are, because of who these people are, you're not going to get that number. And people should say to themselves, wait a minute, I've got a problem with this. But at least we want to know the exact number. I mean, right?
I want to know. I've asked it many times and nobody can answer it.
Right. I mean, you would think if you let people into your house, if they knock on your door and you let them in your house, within like a 4 or 5 year period, you would know how many people entered your home.
Oh yes, I would.
That.
Okay, I found some.
Yeah.
Okay, you got Kelly's got some.
This thing
number.
says as of 3 days ago, 10.7 million since 2020.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah. But I said, but it's not that's not a completely accurate number, but that's the closest, according to this, accurate number that they have.
That are still here.
Yeah, yes, that came, not that they've been deported. These are just people that came through. They're they're vetting them or getting their name or whatever they did.
Do we have enough personnel in this country to vet 10.7 million people?
We don't have enough personnel to vet 10 people. But I mean, seriously.
Wait, who said that?
It was Kelly. I just said that. Yeah.
Coming from another world as your husband, it takes a while.
It does.
It takes a while just to sit down and talk to one individual who you have suspicions of being perhaps not a good character. I don't know. Good God,
and this is just
one.
And these aren't just bad people. This is generally children, women. I mean, this is the closest number that Customs and Border Patrol has for how they've been counting. I mean, I don't know how they do the stats. This is the closest number that they have.
Now, how could we sit down and vet them? Charlie, you're going to be on the board.
Obviously, if someone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they have no concept or clue how democracy works. If they're in this country, do you think that, a part of me, so do you think that they should potentially be deported, or should we let them stay?
Now, if they come in here alone, or is that what you're talking about? They're here all by themselves?
No, if they come along with a mother or a father.
Then I'm sorry, then they're going to have to go with mom and daddy. If mom and daddy are saying it's okay for them to stay here, then I would say it would be okay for children to stay here. If mom and daddy got to go, then they got to go. We're not going to take them to raise.
Last week, a brother and sister, a 3-year-old girl and a 7-year-old brother, were found at the border crossing alone with a piece of paper with an Alabama address. And it was a little wet. So shockingly, Border Patrol got their information, rewrote the address out for the kids, and told them not to. It was. I saw on the news. I looked it up.
What did they do with the kids?
They left them in their little processing line or whatever they do now. I'm assuming someone must be taking them to that address, but that was me making an assumption.
We have no system that's working.
No.
We screwed the system up completely years, maybe a few decades ago. It's not working. So what do we do about it?
Oh, no.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What can we do about it?
Listen to me. Yeah.
You feel like I do.
We're all in the
Yeah.
same boat.
Yeah,
We're
we
ums out
do.
here. We got the group. I don't know what to do about it.
But I think if you have a child that doesn't have a parent and they're like swimming at the border, yeah, you got to take them in. You got to protect them.
Got to do that.
Well, and you got to wonder how they got there. I mean, I'm certain that 3 and 7-year-old didn't walk from where. I mean, maybe they did.
Now,
But that's a lot. And a little 7-year-old kid should not have the responsibility of taking care of his 3-year-old sister.
okay, now let's step forward. I
have a great question. I have a great question
Go
for
ahead.
you.
Yeah.
I got a follow up to that one, but go ahead.
Oh, so I don't want to interrupt you. Do you want me to?
No, you
Let me
go
just
ahead.
ask you real quick, let me suppose something. We take this 3 and 7-year-old, we put them into some foster care or do something with them, put them in a place, right? And this, in 3 years, Mama and Daddy are showing up at the border. You've got my children. You've got to let me in and reunite me with my children.
I just looked. They were from Honduras. They got a picture.
What
of
now?
them. Yeah.
Well, I think you're going to have a very small minority. Yes. If a child is in this country with no parents and we need to protect that child, yes. You just got to sacrifice it. Yes. That's a very small minority. So let's make this a massive picture. I don't think it's going to be millions and millions of abandoned children at the border. But if a child has no ability to think for or take care of themselves, you got to protect that child. And if the parent shows up a couple years later saying, listen, this is my child, I love my child, I mean, we got to figure something out to allow that person to like protect their child. Listen, I don't know. You guys just, I don't know.
This one says there were 11 children total in this group from last week. They were apprehended in Eagle Pass, Texas. It was last Wednesday. And all the 11 kids that were unaccompanied, they were not with adults,
We got a lot more than
were
you think,
taken
Charlie.
into custody, whatever taken into custody mean. But they did say they had a state patrol, state trooper, whatever Texas calls them, rewrote, and he speaks Spanish, rewrote that Alabama address out and told the little boy he's going to need this address, not to lose it and keep it. Because the other one apparently was written out, it was wet. So, but I don't know when it says they were all taken into custody, where they put them, I don't know.
They have to put them in holding until they make contact with the folks at that address.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be a process. And 2 or 3 years from now, they'll be placed probably with those folks. And then the parents are going to come in and want to be reunited with their kids. And that's going to be it. Then we'll
Unless
have
they
2
were
more.
kidnapped from the parents.
They were not kidnapped.
Hey, guys.
Yes.
I had a brilliant follow-up question because of my addiction to whiskey currently.
Okay.
I don't remember that question, so I'm just going to say have a good day.
Okay.
You too, Charlie.
You
Enjoy your
have a
whiskey.
brilliant follow-up that you forgot.
Yeah, but he knows it was brilliant.
I forgot. No, I had a
He doesn't know what it is, but he knows.
I'm going to give you my wife's advice for every freaking thing that I do because I'm at that age.
What?
Make a list.
Then you forget
You're
where
right,
you put
you're
the
right. Have a
list.
good day, guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
I make lists all the time, and then
I make
I
lists-
forget where I put them.
No, I make lists and then don't take them with me to
Exactly.
the store.
That's
It's
what
so
I'm saying.
aggravating. And I
put
don't
'em
have
on my
time
phone
to rip my
No.
phone out and put. That's just, believe it or not, Rayford, to me, that's just too
I
much
can't
work.
believe that you would even do that, Rayford.
I can't either. Rayford won't even put an app on his phone, y'all, and he's over here talking about making a list on his phone.
He doesn't even text.
No.
I
us.
don't make a list on my phone.
What are you doing?
I make-
Texting yourself?
No, I make a list on Alexa. Hey, Alexa, call 910.
I do that too, and never
333-0139.
remember to ask Alexa. Yeah. Try downward.
What are you doing?
We're just nothing.
Trying to stop me from doing something?
No, we're just we're messing around.
We'll
I
quit
don't
messing
think
around.
it'll even show.
Please try again a bit later.
What?
I think if I hit that.
You messed up with the network?
Yeah, Alexa, stop. In other news, Rayford, I have all my trees up at my house now.
All 7 of them?
There's 3.
3 of them.
But my front porch is not decorated. It's Thanksgiving decorated, and on the day after Thanksgiving, the Christmas stuff will go up.
Oh.
People down the street have their Christmas
I want to
stuff
shout
in
out.
their yard.
Yeah, I want to shout out my neighbors across the street from me. I swear, I went out this morning. They had lights up, and they did such a wonderful job. I
Well,
had to
what
be
are they
really
doing tomorrow?
impressed.
The house lighting service did come and went ahead and put my lights on my house for me.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, she gets a service to come do it.
yeah.
What?
They come every year. They put them up and take them down. I
Now,
don't
do
have
they
to
do it to
nothing.
where they put staples into your wood?
I don't know. I don't think I don't have wood. I have siding, so I don't know if it stays up. It's on my roof, around my front flower beds.
I don't know that I'll put any
love it.
lights. I just don't like the aggravation of having.
That's why I don't have to do it.
Somebody
I pay these
messing
people.
with them.
Oh, they've done a great job and had no issues so far. But they come, they came the week of Thanksgiving, and I was very worried.
Week of Thanksgiving.
I mean, week of Halloween. I'm sorry, and I was very concerned because my grandson, who is neurodivergent, I knew things are a certain way. Like I knew he would say it's Halloween. Like Halloween is Halloween, and then and when they came and I got my text, we put them up, and I got home that night. There were no lights, and I said, Robin. He goes, well, I don't know. Robin and I are like two idiots out there. Everything was plugged in. We're checking the box to see if a fuse had tripped.
Took it out.
No, we didn't do anything.
Not
You. No, I mean, no, he didn't even know they were coming because he don't handle that. And I said, he goes, well, I don't understand why they're not working. I said, well, I'm kind of glad because I knew my grandson would have a fit if the house was lit up and he would say it was Halloween. And I knew he would do this.
Uh-huh.
So I contacted a company and I'm like, look, there's something wrong. And I could see they were plugged in on my front porch. I'm like, why are these dang lights not working?
Oh, it's got a switch on that plug.
No, he said, and the guy, poor guy, he probably think this lady is a total idiot. He didn't say it. He was very gracious. He said, well, we didn't plug them into the timer because we weren't sure when, oh my God. So literally all I had to do after Halloween was plug them into the box that's already in the thing. Oh and they work. But I didn't know. I knew Prince K would be very upset if he came on Halloween to trick or treat and those lights were on. He would have had a fit.
She's a kept woman. You know that, right?
So
I always use timers on mine.
I use timer. Oh, they're on a timer. They go off. And I don't have to do nothing. All my Christmas trees in the house are on timers. It was awesome.
I don't know that I'll do the outside. So I used to do that, but then kids in the neighborhood used to like to mess with decorations.
I know they did. They
with
tore
my
yours up.
deer.
Yeah, I know it's hilarious. Well, look, I have last year I bought some blow uppy things.
You don't put it,
and I can't find them.
All that big tree and all that stuff that I put
He
out
does.
Did you?
Yeah.
Are you going to do that again this year?
I'm thinking very
Is
seriously
there a
about
neighborhood contest again this year?
Nope.
Because that big tree music one year or something.
I do music every year when I put a tree up.
That big tree is awesome.
Yeah, that tree can be up to 30 feet tall, depending upon how
I just don't want to hang them on my house because after all the beautiful painting
you'll have to drive by
and stuff
here because
done.
Robbie's going to have this house lit more than a Thanksgiving turkey.
Well, I tell you what, I've got blow up stuff and I can't find them, and I just don't understand. I bought them last year like they are new, and I put them in a tote. They're gone.
Mine was the 48 car.
How did you get that up? So Redford's got this shopping list right here that he just showed me on his phone.
I got to go. And Robbie's, it shows up on Robbie's the same way. And as soon as we get something, see, like down here,
is that an app?
Before,
it's some kind of app. I'm telling you, it is way too much work.
That I can just reach down there and I click. No, here's the way it works. I go in there and I say, Alexa, add.
Right. I have that. Where's
my Alexa? Alexa's already adding right now.
Say it again.
Yeah.
This is why I don't have Alexa in my house.
Add a new Grady White boat to the shopping list.
Oh my gosh.
I've put new Grady White boat on the shopping list.
Thank you.
I came home to Robin had hooked that stupid Google thing back up. The one that talked to us that one time. He better not have anything in the house hooked to that stupid Google because I'm about to unplug it.
All right.
Well, just see this works.
I don't do Alexa.
This is the only thing that I like about this stuff. I can do that. And that way I get to the store, I can look at it, and then as I go down the aisles, I just got my Grady White, right? I just picked it up and done. It goes off the current and it goes back down into the done.
But
there's a bunch of
that
stuff.
Involves me holding a phone, scrolling down.
Oh my God.
The piece of paper I have it written on.
Wait a minute. There's something wrong with this story. You don't go shopping.
Oh, I go. The shopping that I go is sourdough bread.
That was food shopping. Yeah.
Cooking oil, caramel, waha.
Caramel macchiato, probably.
That's it.
Yeah.
Vinegar, French vanilla creamer, butter, heavy duty aluminum foil for the gamma rays.
Well, I had to
heavy
reset
duty Drano
Alexa.
just in case. I've got 2 long poles here that I got to go to Lowe's for. See, I would forget all that stuff. I got some concrete blocks I got to pick up. No, it's not for that.
Okay. All right. I gave you
Not
a look.
for that purpose.
Okay.
Okay, let's go
But that
serious.
just involves a lot of things.
All right.
No, it
I just
doesn't.
set
Once it's
mine
on
back
there,
up.
it's there.
This morning when I was driving here, it was a red sky.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
I'm not going.
I guess that's people don't go out on the boat today because
Yep.
it looks like it's raining out there right now. But yeah, it was a red sky and it was bright red sky too. And
There's
then
supposed to be some showers.
Red
Yeah.
sky in the morning, Saturday warning.
yeah, so
Okay.
and I think that
just-
warning is ushering in that cold front that's coming in.
All right, I got commentary.
Oh my gosh.
Lord.
Okay, let's
well,
go with
Sit
it.
back, do it.
Yeah, 8 a.m.
The
moderate
news
rain.
leading up to the lack of updated news
Mm-hmm.
over the weekend was that an Iranian had been instructed to surveil Donald Trump and then kill him.
Right.
Don't see a lot about it in there anymore, do you?
Nope.
Some unnamed person in the Iranian government's Revolutionary Guard Corps, according to the paperwork filed in New York City's federal court last Friday, is supposed to have given that order to 51-year-old Farhad Shakira. That's what Shakira is supposed to have told federal authorities, and that his orders came in October. Well, this is a little shaky,
Okay.
based upon only the cryptic information that's been released. And of course, if it's true, I expect cryptic information at the most to be released. Why? Well, for one thing, Shakiri is an Iranian American. Having grown up in the United States, he spent 14 years in prison in the United States on an armed robbery conviction. He's back in Iran, living there. He's 51 years old. If he had given such intel to our government, why did he go back to Iran? That would be and will be the last place to be hanging out if it's true. If it's true that they told him to do this and he told our feds about it, and he goes back to Iran, think about it. If I had been this guy, had been offered whatever he may have been offered to kill an ex-president of the country where I was raised, decided to tell the feds about it, I'm pretty sure I would stay here with the protection that would be provided, and my name would not have been revealed. If the dude is making up a story, the last place I'd go was to a country where they cut people's heads off.
Oh.
Interesting that Iran denies the story is true, acted outraged that we even believed it. That's kind of funny if you think about it. There's not much of a doubt that this nation is run by a crazy bunch of radicals, not the United States, Iran. Crazy and violent. There is, I'm led to believe, ongoing investigations working to tie known, not suspected plots, maybe half-baked ones, to kill American leaders, not just President-elect Trump. Trump is not a friend of the radical leaders of Iran, and they know that. Would Iran go so far as to kill Donald Trump? Do you think they would? That answer is a wholehearted, you bet your sweet is. The rogue leaders fear Trump. He's made it known that he doesn't support the ridiculous notion that Iran is working to develop a nuclear energy plan, an energy plan for peaceful purposes, not on your life. Does anyone actually out there actually believe it? They're playing around with nukes, but I'm pretty sure it's not for electricity, unless they figured out a way to weaponize electricity. I don't trust them. I don't trust them I haven't trusted them since the Iranian hostage crisis.
Right.
Okay. That was the turning point. Iran used to be a fairly decent place, never to live, not for me, but, we got along okay. Remember the Shah of Iran? That's what set him off. He was dying of cancer, and we accepted him in this country, tried to help treat him. And they were mad about it, so they took a bunch of people hostage. They denied, of course, that it was Iranian government sponsored, but it was. You don't do anything. Iranians do nothing that is not sponsored by the government.
Oh, I agree with that.
Okay, so this plot or any other plot that's out there that's been ongoing, and we've heard about them for years, it's a fact. Now, if we believe this guy, and if this guy has told us that this was going to happen, The only thing left, as far as I'm concerned, before we act, tell me that the Iranian government leaders were involved in part of this plot, organizing it, ordering it, or whatever. Then that's a case to go to war. The war will last about 48 seconds.
Well, I agree with that. And I saw something the other day where they talked about this was in retaliation for him killing that general however many years
Big
ago.
deal.
Right.
Well, I agree.
He had been killing us.
But
He's
I
dead.
agree, but
Dead.
that's where you know that the government is involved, because they said that they know. And what is disturbing though is the video, the Ring doorbell or video footage of them being on that woman's property.
Yep.
How close they came, and then them talking about, you got to get her when she comes out or whatever. This poor woman's never going to leave her house. What did she do to make them target her? I mean, who is she? Tried several times. They want to kill her and Trump. I want to know who this woman is. I watched an interview with her. She's very intelligent, but who is she? I have to look her up. That's scary that they made it to her front porch.
It
I'd
is.
move. I mean,
Well,
are they watching? Yeah, I mean, that's scary.
here's what you do. Here's what you do. You don't want anybody coming on your front porch. Advise them with the warning sign.
Right.
Come on my front porch, you're going to die.
Yeah.
You wire a piece of steel,
Yeah.
put it on your front porch
Mhm.
where you got to stand on it.
Mhm.
And you ground it very well.
Oh,
Oh my,
gosh.
that's awesome. I'm
And
for it.
then your door handles,
Yeah.
you wire them
Yeah.
with 400 volts of electricity.
That works. That'll do it.
And what do you do if you're coming home one day and you forget?
I don't use the front
You don't go
door.
that way. Yeah.
Good
You don't
Lord.
go that way.
Only other visitors use the front door. You've been warned. I mean, there's a warning right there. You do it, you die. Do it and die.
I think the problem with like going through your garage, it takes forever for those little garage doors to come down. I mean, you could get a bunch of killers running through there even as it's lowering, zombies, like a whole lot of
Do
things.
you
Like,
understand?
don't they make fast garage doors?
Do you not understand that I back in for a reason?
That's a good point.
And when I back in, you don't really want to come in behind me. It's too late then.
But the problem also is if they're standing out there, they're going to open fire into your vehicle
They can
as
do
you're
that through the
charging
door.
towards them. Well, that's true too. Good point.
They can open fire. You walking out to your mailbox.
That's
People
right.
got
According to them,
crazy.
they said, I just,
Or
who is this
walking your
lady?
dog. Do you think I walk my dog all by my lonesome?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I don't know who she is.
Well,
Oh, she's a
how-
journalist. Okay. That's what it is. Okay.
Oh, we're not journalists, so we don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah.
We're just opinionated people.
Yeah, in her opinion.
Well, the former communications director for Ms. Harris,
Mm-hmm.
Jamal
Quit?
Simmons,
Quit?
surprised the CNN panel yesterday.
Mhm.
He said President Biden should step down
I
and
saw
allow
this.
Harris to
I
serve as the
saw
first
it. I
female
said,
president.
What is this guy drinking?
Oh my! I saw.
I want some of that. Whatever he's drinking, I
My
want it.
Lord, I'm like, really?
I bet Biden has something to say quietly.
Well, if he
Away from the
saw
news.
it or knew what he saw. He went on to say that Biden's been a phenomenal president. Okay, now we know he's been drinking something bad. He's lived up to so many of the promises he's made. What promises did he ever make that he's lived up to?
Well, he believes in Kamala.
But what I agree. Good question, Rayford. What promise did he make?
What has Biden done in almost 4 years? Please, somebody tell me something that he promised in this campaign. Give me a promise that he made that he's kept, that he's done something with.
Promises made, promises kept.
Okay. Well,
That was 4 years ago. What did he run on? I don't remember.
He ran on eliminating student loan debt, which that didn't happen.
That fell through.
here's one of the reasons Mr. Simmons would like her to be president.
Okay.
It would absolve her from having to oversee the January 6th transition of her own defeat. Which, ironic. She has got to be Pence 4 years ago.
She's got to certify the votes.
Yeah, she does. What happens if she
Yes.
doesn't?
I'm sure she will.
The best thing that if first of all, has anybody seen her? I know she did a video
No.
thing.
I haven't seen anything. Of course, I haven't been looking for her either.
Has she
No,
just
I've not
disappeared
seen
for the past
anything.
week? Who's paying her?
She's probably taking a week off. She's tired.
How can she take a week off?
She's
How much
tired.
time off do they get?
Well, she's worried about how to pay back that $1 billion she owes that she can't afford.
Well, get
That's
part
what
of
it
it back
is.
from Oprah and the other people. Did you hear about that one?
No.
Oh, you know those blasted. You very familiar with them.
Hollywood
Kelly's very
elites.
familiar with them. All of those dadgum expense things that you got to file every
Oh,
month.
yeah, the
every month.
campaign finance.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, guess what they found?
What?
They
Let's-
found that she paid
Let's go look.
$1 million to the Oprah fund for her to support her, to be on her show, to do this. And she's not the only one.
I'm
To
looking.
others,
Mhm.
she paid them.
Well, I read that those concerts she spent $20 million just on the Taylor Swift, Beyonce, whoever else sang for her.
I mean, if you want to come spend $20 million here, girl, I'll support you
How'd that do for you?
But I think
until I get to the polls.
spending all that money shows how out of touch a lot of Democrats, but more importantly, Hollywood actors and musicians
She threw
are.
herself a grand exit party.
She didn't even show up for.
That's what I'm telling you. Forget that part. I'm talking about the concerts and all that.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
She threw
Yeah.
herself a grand old exit party. I don't believe that she ever thought that she
Yeah.
would be president.
Yeah.
The cards were in the making 3-4 months ago.
Yeah.
When the table started turning and the pollsters were hedging, as they were, she should have paid attention to the Las Vegas bookies. Here we got.
I don't know.
Private number.
She did throw that party.
Good morning. Who's this?
Hey, it's Charlie.
Hey, Charlie, you're back.
So I have a question for all three of you, very quickly.
Okay.
Since Trump was elected the new president, do you have any family members or people in your community or friends that are so outraged or disgusted by him becoming president? And what is your reaction or what's going on with that?
I mean, I know some people that are disgusted. Yes. They're not family members.
But you're a counselor. You probably
Yeah.
do know.
No, I mean just people like friends and people
Oh,
I know.
really?
Yeah, I do have Democrat friends, believe it or not, and they're very outraged, but they haven't said anything, wacky like you're seeing on social media yet, unless they're just not saying it to me. I mean, I don't know.
Kelly, Ali.
Do you know anybody that's outraged
Yes.
by Trump winning?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. A few people. Most of my friends that are Democratic really haven't said much.
No.
But
Oh man,
if you got on social media and check
I've got
out
one I need to check on social media, Charlie. Hold on. Let me check this
Well,
person.
yeah,
For
there's
me,
some that
Charlie,
crazy
one, I do
stuff.
not have a lot of so-called friends in my social life. I just don't. I'm too old for that. I just don't do that kind of stuff. I can tell you that the people that I reach the most, the largest majority of the people that I listen to, that I have contact with, is via amateur radio, because I'm talking to maybe hundreds or thousands from time to time over a period of a couple of weeks. People that I talk to regularly, semi-regularly. None of those have been out there screaming and hollering about Trump being elected. In fact, leading up to the election, there were more people on there, of which I stayed off of it because I'm not campaigning. They were supporting Trump, and they're saying all sorts of positive things about him. Again, the group that's on amateur radio, a big chunk of them are people in the age range of 40 and above. There are not that many really young people out there, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't have anybody that I'm around, my family. They just haven't been jump up and down. I probably have, I'm going to guess right now, a couple of distant cousins, maybe second or third cousins. They probably are upset. They're very young, but they're probably upset. But that just goes with the way things are. I haven't seen them in years.
When you guys go out in public and go to your local like Target or I don't know Walmart or I don't know where you guys shop, do you ever see like pro-Trump shirts, hats?
Yes, especially
Yes.
here because we're in a military town.
Yes.
Yeah, we see a lot of that here.
Yeah, see, I live in a community. If you wear that, they're gonna probably like take a razor blade and they're gonna have like blue hair and they're gonna say, "We love Ellen DeGeneres. You're transphobic. We hate you," and they're gonna cut my face open.
Well, when Trump was running,
Do you understand the extreme?
I know,
Of what
I do.
Okay, there you go.
And I used to, when Trump was running in 2016, and we were on the air, and I was on the air, but there were so many reports out there. People, MAGA hats, which just sounds dirty. Make America hats, caps.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching reports of it. And of course, we were talking about it on the air. I was watching stories about this all over the country, about people being hit in the head when caps were stolen from them. People would grab them and run. A lot of it on video, and people were just being denigrated because they were wearing a Trump cap. And I'm like, okay. I said, I don't even have one of those caps, but I wonder what it would be like to have one. So a friend of mine, retired law enforcement, federal law enforcement, he sends me one. He says, I dare you to wear it. I said, well, I'll take that dare. So I wore it to the grocery store. I don't wear caps very often unless I'm on my boat. But I wore it to the post office, I went to the grocery stores. I wore it everywhere I went. All I had were people saying, hey, thank you. I love that cap. Lord, good God. So, no, we live in a different community.
Yeah.
Did you just say when you're on your boat?
Yes.
When I'm on my boat, yeah.
Yeah. Here's a boat.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Let's go. Okay. First of all, most people aren't on boats where they can identify who voted for. But let me ask you this. There's this new movement going along on social media. It's probably a bunch of just, liberal individuals that are, they're suffering breakdowns. They want to wear blue bracelets in public. So when you see them, they want to identify, they want to say to all those around them that, hey, we voted for Kamala and Biden. You guys know what I'm talking about?
No,
we
I never
haven't seen
heard
them
about
here.
that. No.
No. Well, there's a blue bracelet movement going on right now.
Bless their hearts.
They want women. They want Democrats that voted for, I guess, this wacky individual. They want everyone to know that they voted.
Somebody's making a bunch
Why?
of money. That's all it's
Why
about.
do they
Come on.
care?
When you see them in public, you acknowledge them. You're like, you know what, brother, sister, I voted for the blue too. You guys were on the same side. That's the only reason they're wearing it. No, it's a whole movement going on right now.
I never even heard of that.
Okay, I got one more to
Yeah,
start.
check it out.
I've got one more to start. We're going to do a pin.
Uh-oh.
We're going to make it as a blue pin.
What's
It's
it going to do?
It's going to be
So
L
you know what?
as in
You
loser.
can goop on
Oh,
it.
my Lord.
Rayford, get a shot.
I love throwing grenades.
They'll be taking the razor blade after us.
I would have looked that
No,
up.
I'm very curious. There's like
I
a
haven't-
whole
I haven't
movement
heard of that.
right now.
Well, we'll check that one out. Maybe I can find one.
Because they want to identify the people that they relate to. So when you're in your local grocery store or post, I was going to say post office. Who knows what a post office is? So they basically want you to recognize. They want you to recognize people in your community with a blue bracelet that says, "I support you, brother. I support
I gotta
you,
look
sister.
that up.
I support you, pronoun. You're my pronoun. I support you." You know what I'm going to do if I see them in public? I'm like, listen, is that a Trump? Does that mean Trump that you like? Just to F with them.
Oh
I'll
my
see.
gosh.
Let me see. There is
We'll check it out.
I got to go.
Thank you, Dave.
Oh, there is.
Thanks.
He's not wrong.
Huh.
It's right on here.
Blue bracelets. Okay, good for them.
It's called the Blue Bracelet. Oh, it's the Blue Bracelet Movement. Man,
I
say
can
that
go
3
places
times.
with
Well,
that.
you know what? I can get yourself I can get a big old vat of red dye, and we can take it out there in some of these public areas. I wonder if they'd let us set up in front of a Lowe's, some red dye for anybody with a blue bracelet that wants to wear red. What do you think? Nah.
Just like it's done and over
It's to
with.
signify
2025 is on its way, and I did check. He was talking about the payments to Oprah.
Yeah.
2 payments on October 15th to
Yeah.
Harpo, which is Oprah.
Her
That's Oprah's
company.
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
2 payments. Each payment was $500,000.
Imagine that.
So you had to pay to go in there?
Nope.
This is
Well, they had to pay those. She had to pay those singers or to come do the
Best friend-
concerts for
well,
her too.
the checks were made to Harpo.
Best friends money can buy.
Do you? Yeah, you have to pay. You would think Harpo would be paying her to come on there.
That's right. Or at least,
I
you
gotta look
know,
that up now too.
I'm sure I can go in here and look at contributions.
There's a whole lot of contribution stuff in there that would surprise you.
Oh, yes.
A lot of stuff in there.
I'll have to take a further research on it later, but wow. How news story coming out of Florida where the FEMA worker was telling
yes,
the FEMA people to skip any house that was damaged,
worker
skip
got
any
fired.
house
Yes, I saw
that
that.
had a Trump sign.
She got fired.
Yes, she did.
And that was only, as she puts it, I was the patsy. She
Yeah,
said
right.
that FEMA did that to save face.
It was targeted discrimination right there.
Yeah, that's discrimination. Where is the outrage over that, Democrats?
That's buried on the back pages.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's interesting
I
how
think FEMA needs.
outrage. Because if I'm outraged about something, I'm outraged across the board.
I think FEMA needs a complete overhaul.
Oh, I agree.
In my
I think they
opinion.
need to be shut down, but that's just me.
Too many stories coming
Yeah.
out with all
There's
these bad weather.
There, I don't know. I don't know the inner workings. I've only known one FEMA inspector, so to speak,
Right.
who got called out. He was on the retainer, but he was trained, and it was a guy that was trained, and I wouldn't have had him in my shop doing
Yeah, sometimes
anything.
one bad apple makes the whole place look bad.
Oh, what a piece of work. Who do we have this time?
That's Robin. Hello, Robin.
Third time's the winner. Good morning, Robin. How are you?
Hey guys, how are you?
Hanging.
Hey, I just wanted to say two things. The first one, it's what amazes me most about Trump being reelected back into the White House is the world reaction. And every time I hear these countries, that are coming up to the table now, wanting to speak to Trump, ending the hostilities in Israel, etc., it reminds me of an Irish guy when I went back to Ireland. I think it was the first or second time. I'll never forget what the cab driver told me on how much the United States affects the rest of the world. Because they were going through a recession. And during that time, the cab driver, I asked him, I said, how's the recession affecting Ireland? And he looked at me and he says, because we were going through a recession at the time, and he said, let me tell you it this way. If America sneezes, Ireland catches the cold.
Okay.
And when I heard that, that's impactful, because of what he's saying is, something minor that affects the United States or major whatever is going to affect the rest of the world, especially their economy. And I thought that was very wise of this guy to say that, and I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
An old guy in his early 70s driving a cab because he said he had 12 grandchildren, so he had to make for Christmas. But that was, I'll never forget that as long as I live, and what he said, and it's so true. And now you're looking at the world. The world is reacting to Trump. I mean, the entire world is reacting to him, if you really understand that. If Kamala would have won the race, the world would have kept on going and said anything. In fact, there have been a lot of smiles in the Middle East, in Europe, and other countries. So I think, not even taking office yet, Trump has made an impact based on the fact that the world knows that he has been reelected. He's going to sit in that presidency. So I think it's a great time. It's a great point in history for the United States. And he's got 4 years to work his magic. And I'm looking forward to the next 4 years. So there's that.
Well, I hope he gets off the pot and gets the right House and the right Senate together. And he goes in there and he says, listen, boys and girls, here's the way we got to get things done now. Now, we can't be bickering among ourselves. Whether you're Republican or Democrat, y'all got to get together and we got to rebuild this place.
Well, here's the thing about Trump, though. If you look back at him being elected the first time, Trump came in there like a bull in a china shop. He took care of business, et cetera. He made some mistakes. But now, you've got a president-elect who's going back in the White House, who was still a bull in a china shop. The problem is he's now very refined, very more intelligent, more experienced. And I think you're going to see him not make the same mistakes. And I think he's going to make some great things happen for the United States. Instead of people being all crybaby-ish about it, they ought to look forward to this man and his administration, because I think this time he's going to rule the country with better wisdom than he had when he first ran for president. So I think it's an exciting time. And the only other thing I want to say is, I don't care what anybody says, and Kelly will vouch for this, but Lee, Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Lee's not listening.
She took her headphones off because she knew you were about to say that.
I did.
But we
I know.
repeated
I
it.
said Robin would be the.
Die Hard, and especially now, and you're gonna have to, especially now because of the health issues with Bruce.
Yeah, Willis.
There's
Yeah.
Bruce Willis. This movie is going to go down as an iconic movie for Christmas time.
Okay.
And so you're
right.
going to get used to it.
Here's what I'm going to do, y'all. Girls.
Yeah.
Can I call them girls?
I think
guess
it's
they
a
are.
Christmas. Lee's one of the.
Girls, here's what
It's
I
a
want.
movie that
y'all been
occurred
giving me grief all morning, all
during
right?
Christmas.
I haven't. She has.
Yeah, you did.
I
What I
don't
give you
get
grief
grief.
about?
Yes, you did.
Over
I thought I
what?
have not watched that other movie. That's a Christmas movie.
Robin.
Okay, hold on. Here's what I will do. We will have a double feature.
Okay, I'm all about it.
I will watch that as long as we can have her tied to a chair to
Watching
watch.
Die Hard.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I love
She'll
the
do it.
Die Hard movie.
She-
And
doesn't believe
we're going
it's-
to play Christmas music
Right.
with every break that comes up
I love Die Hard.
and say Die Hard is a Christmas song. Is
I
a
love
Christmas
Bruce
movie.
Willis.
That works.
Well,
Sad.
I'm with you, Rayford. You're going to have to gag her, too, because she'll be talking to the whole
That
movie.
is not a problem. You know I can do that.
He's talking about you.
Me.
She does. She likes the movie though.
I love the movie, Robin.
She just says it's not a Christmas movie.
I know she does. I know she loves the movie, but playing it on Christmas as a Christmas movie is going to get so under her skin. Okay?
No,
But
it
is an
doesn't.
iconic-
No,
It does when we mention
we
it.
need to have some kind of bet about something, and then if Lee loses the bet, she has to wear a shirt that says "Die Hard" is a Christmas movie.
Look at this. First thing I brought up.
I'm going to get a.
Look, she's been pulled up something on her laptop
you
and
can
said
find
it's not
anything
a
on the
Christmas
internet.
movie. That's true. You can.
I'm just saying, in my opinion,
Okay.
it
in
is
your
not
opinion,
a
it's not.
Christmas movie. It's okay for those who
Were
think
you
it
ever
is.
wrong before?
Many of a time.
Okay, well, you're wrong again. Thank you, Robin.
Bye, Robin. Have a good day. See ya.
All right, guys, thanks.
I can set them up with the best. The Marine Forecast is brought to you by fellow boating enthusiasts, by Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville. Might not be the best of times to be out there right now, but we'll talk about that in a second. The recent presidential election, as we've already heard on here this morning, we're not hearing from any pro-Trumpers, though, has brought out the best and the worst in a lot of people. Is getting mad, especially this time of year, all that bad when we're talking about those who won and lost? Why maybe the election should be held at a different time of year so we don't have to, go through Thanksgiving being mad and Christmas being mad. If you're one of those who can't let it go, though, is there some definitive period of time before you should just back off, chill, whether it's the outcome of an election or maybe there's something else that keeps getting under your skin? The Die Hard Christmas movie. Are there issues that have become all-consuming, perhaps to the point that it interferes with the relationships with your friends, your colleagues, and family? If you blow up at people, at events out of your control, it might be time to bite the bullet and seek the help of a counselor, a professional who will actually listen to you. Community Prevention Services, located at 918 Henderson Drive, has counselors. They'll listen to you, and they will work with you to find a solution. They'll not judge you, and they won't share with anyone anything that you talk about. That's called confidentiality. Community Prevention Services accepts most insurance plans as well. Give them a call today to schedule some one-on-one time. 910-353-0972. Offshore, out to 20 nautical miles. Marine conditions improved after the weekend's post-frontal wind surge, that thing that we had Friday night going into Saturday. That was the good news today. Not too bad, but it might be challenging for boats in the ocean. Southwesterly winds kicking up 10 to 15 knots, seas 4 to 5 feet, 3 to 4 near shore, 4-foot waves from the southeast every 8 seconds, mixed in with cross waves from the east every 9 seconds, makes it in rivers a moderate chop. Northerly winds 15 to 25, seas 4 to 5, about 3 feet near shore. Sounds and rivers choppy. Wednesday, northeasterly winds 15 to 20, seas 4 to 6, sounds and rivers choppy.
Today, showers and thunderstorms likely, mainly before 1 p.m. After that, partly sunny, high of 76. Tonight, mostly clear, low of 54. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 69 with 18-mile-an-hour gusts. Tomorrow night, clear, cold, low of 41. And on Wednesday, sunny, high of only 62. That's
Ooh,
gonna
I
be
love it.
Let's talk about all those people out there, the pundits, who got so ticked off with Trump that they did so many stupid things, said so many hateful things during the past couple of years, spread so many false stories through the media faster than crap goes through a goose, and are now backpedaling.
Are they backpedaling?
Oh, a lot of them are. Oh, he's my bestest friend. If I was so politically opposed to Donald Trump before the election,
friend.
I would be the same way today.
Exactly, yes.
If I didn't like him, I hated him then, I still would hate him today. My stance all along is that I did not like him as a person.
Correct.
I've said it for 8 years, plus years now. His dealings, as reported by the mainstream media, were shady. Okay, I know that. That's what I'm saying. I'm in the opinion mode these days, not the fact mode. I then and now think that he's not the best person for the job, but he's the better person of the two that were on the ticket that stood a chance of winning. I had a choice of voting for one or the other, or I could have voted for neither. All of those other choices, including the write-in possibility, were not up for serious consideration. If I'm going to waste my vote, I'd just rather not select either. But let's say that I was as adamantly opposed to Trump as virtually every media person, and my true colors were as visible as we all could see when we watched TV or read newspapers. My opinion would still be the same today. I don't change. We all know that I thought Kamala Harris was a joke a long time before she became the official DNC choice, circumventing the will of Democrats. That's one of the things that irked me in the first place about the Democrats. She was useless, had no concept of how to even run the district attorney's office in California, was a joke as California's attorney general, and no one, please tell me when I'm wrong here, no one seems to know what she brought to the table in Washington as a senator from California. Help me out. What did she do to earn her keep? Her constant back and forth, confusing those of us who actually tried to follow her thinking patterns. Nothing consistent with what we need to run this country. That said, as I said before the election, on the day of the election, and that long night leading up to the final vote that saw her with her tail between her legs, leaving town. If she was elected, I would acknowledge her as my president. If she had been elected, in spite of all the crap that she's pulled, I would acknowledge her as my president. That doesn't mean I would like her. I should have done that, even though I would have looked at with my opinion on issues she was involved in, whether they were good or bad. Those are the facts of my life. I will do the same thing when Trump takes the oath on January 20th, as I did on more than one occasion with his first 4 years in the White House. Decisions that were dumb, I called him out. If you will honestly reflect back to those years, other than his stupid tweets or twits, or whatever you call them, were there presidential matters that he took on that were crazy? Yeah, some will forever harp on the border wall and his statement that Mexico would be paying for the wall. I sincerely believe his intention was to have Mexico suffer while the United States prospered from lost business with Mexico, to the point that the increased American-based companies that would have left Mexico would have been paying the tab. In effect, that's what would have happened in the way of taxes. Mexico's loss would have been our gain. I'm okay with that. I am far further away from understanding or even being able to manipulate the economy for my gain. I don't know how to do it. I'm too short-sighted. And some have harped on Trump's bankruptcies. What? 7 of them over how many years? For the hundreds and hundreds of companies he was involved with, I definitely label those as failures. But I don't label him as a failure. But I would trust him as president to have a much better economic plan and to be able to make it work most of the time than Kamala Harris, Barry Obama, and Joe Biden. None have worked in the real world. None have been out here working in the real world. Trump came from money, yes. Why blame him for that? But he money. Today, we're hearing how so many of them are now singing his praises. Media folks saying they were behind him all along. Others, including those who expressed their open hatred, many are now saying they were with him all the time. Or they're saying, hey, Mr. President, no hard feelings. I was just doing my job. After that first election back in 2016, Trump believes some of those folks took them on for big jobs in his administration. I would seriously doubt he'll make that mistake again, and he's already showing it. No more Nikki Haley. No more Mike Pompeo. While I like her, and she was Trump's pick for ambassador to the United Nations, had run against him in the primary this time. She did not throw her support to him until, as we have since become aware, some of us anyway, that the days leading up to the election, it was becoming apparently obvious that Trump was actually going to win. That's when Nikki penned a piece that said that while he wasn't perfect, that she didn't agree with him 100% of the time, that she disagreed with Harris all of the time. Oh, what a beautiful statement. Trump could see through it. If she really felt that way, why didn't she jump on board in the beginning when he could have used her help? Politics makes such strange bedfellows. Good decisions, Mr. President-elect. Pick the qualified who has stuck with you through thick and thin. And let's roll. The country will be better off. Don't worry about those you may consider your political enemies. Just ignore them. You got a lot of other fish to fry out there. We got a caller, I think.
Yes, Theo.
Hey, Theo. Good morning.
Hey.
How are you, Theo?
Deplorables, how you doing?
Fine.
Hey, Theo.
I was so happy to see you at that parade. Thank you.
We saw you.
We were looking for you. The girls
Theo,
found you first.
We thank you for yummy
You're
deliciousness.
welcome.
Oh,
was
I'm
amazing.
glad you enjoyed it.
Theo, if you're looking, have you seen your sign up here?
It's up over
Yeah.
Kelly's
I
head.
like it. I like if you put it underneath the donkey.
Okay, we can do that.
I will have to move some stuff around because it's got a little. It's an area there with my light switch, but I can fix that.
All
We'll
right.
fix it.
I may have to trim the cover on the light switch, but I can make it work.
No, we just moved the donkey up.
We'll move the donkey up some.
Okay, so
We'll
no,
figure
I
it
don't want
out.
to. I can see the donkey. If you move him up, you won't be able to see
Yes.
it.
No, I
right.
can put him down. Would you mind being
bring
on
it-
top
bring
of
it
the
down a
donkey?
little bit.
If you got him on
So
top,
listen,
I can do that. Okay.
Well, most people
Yes.
are.
This year we're going to get our story straight, right?
Yes.
Before we got on the radio, okay?
Okay, what are we talking about?
All right. First of all, Rayford, I heard you say that you needed more agents to vet these people, right? What isn't that what we were talking about by September? That wasn't that the idea? Didn't Biden say that he wanted more agents so that we can vet these people and get them in the process, right? Now
Yes.
you're coming up with that.
And so-
You weren't talking like that before.
And so did a majority of the Democrats, and so did a majority of the Republicans in the House. They said the same thing.
Okay.
But all but 4 of the Republicans said no. I mean, the Democrats said no.
Okay, a simple thing like that, Rayford. That's all he took. But Trump said, "Don't do anything because I don't want the Democrats looking good." Okay. The next thing.
But the Republicans didn't listen to Trump.
Okay. Okay. Of course, yeah, they did. Mike, the man in charge, Mike Johnson, did listen to him. He went to Mar-a-Lago and he told him that, and he did listen to him. Okay. Now the next thing is this. Robin, her name is Kamala. It's not Kamala. The accent is on the first day.
Yeah.
Kamala.
Kamala,
It's like me,
yes.
It's like me calling you Robin. by putting the accent on the second syllable.
Let's
Okay?
but
Would
Theo,
you like
hold on.
Ben?
I actually do call him that sometimes,
Okay.
but I
Robin.
yeah, but yes,
Okay?
I agree
How
with you.
would you like it if we call you Robin? Would you like that?
He finds it endearing.
No, I don't know. He may not like it, but I agree, Theo. It's Kamala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The accent is on the first A, Kamala.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, the second thing, Robin, is that the other countries in Europe are afraid of this guy, okay? Because if he doesn't support Ukraine and Russia goes and takes Ukraine, he's afraid that the rest of the countries are going to go with Russia. That's what they're afraid. And the other thing is they do jump when what happens in this country, because when we had the banks they melted down in 2008, it took the whole world with them. Just the banks, what they did when they went to file for bankruptcy in 2008, when Obama first came in. Okay, it took Greece. Greece was in such a dire straits that I think they're coming out of that now after 10 years, whatever it is, 15 years. Okay, so they are afraid of what he's going to do, not because he's in. Okay, so that's that. Now the other thing is you're talking about. You're still talking about Kamala. I don't understand why you're still talking about her. I mean, go talk about your man. Tell me what good he has done so far. Start talking about the good things this guy has done. Us gave him $124 million. A billionaire gave him $100 million. Now you talk about what Kamala had to do, spend money to get her things done. Why did he need $124 million from Elon Musk? Why did he do that?
I think that it's not that what Kamala had to do, because that's the name of the game, and politics is raising money. I think for us, I don't know if I'm speaking for all of us, but one of the things that's starting to come out is reports that she can't pay what she owes. I think that is probably the bigger problem. But I also
he has the same problem Trump has. He can't pay his bills.
I'm talking about pays what she owes for the campaign.
For the election.
Yeah, for the election. Yeah, I'm sure somebody will pay it. Yeah.
There's a lot of towns. There's a lot of towns that Trump went to, Mr. Billionaire. A lot of towns he went to, and they had to beef up security, and those towns are still looking for the money that they had to pay extra for the security, the police, and all that stuff. He had to. Okay, and one more thing. How you guys doing? All right?
We're doing fine.
We're doing great. How are you?
I was just wondering, how's everything? Are you happy?
I'm always happy.
You won and everything? Because it sounds like you're running scared. You don't know what this guy's going to do.
What?
He's got you on the, on the hoops.
I'm not running scared. I'm
just taking a break.
I'm apprehensive about everybody. You know that.
I'm still tired from election night.
And I'm paranoid, but that's my nature.
I'm good.
Just checking, make sure you guys are okay.
We're good.
But look, forget about what Biden did, and forget about what Kamala Harris did. The woman ran only 3 months. She did the best she could. I'm very proud of her. She was in planes back and forth all over the place for somebody who just handed that, and she went for 3 months trying to get that. Okay, so let's go on to your guy now. Everything is behind us.
Wait a minute. Didn't Trump offer to help Kamala pay her expenses?
I don't know. Did he?
I think he did. He made that statement.
Oh, I don't know about anybody.
Lee,
I think
that
it was a joke.
Yes.
Lee,
I don't know.
Yes.
Lee, what you said this morning about the FEMA, you have to get your story straight, baby. And I'll tell you why. There was more to that than what you just said.
I was reading straight off the AP News.
You just covered it real. When Trump came out and said, "Where is FEMA?" That was a day or two after.
Mm-hmm.
Now, no, first responders go first. The local government goes second, and the state government goes third, and then FEMA is asked to come in to do that. But when Trump said, "Where is FEMA?" after 2 days, why are they only giving the people $750? Okay, and a lot of Republicans did not like FEMA, and some of them that went to their houses, they were threatened. Okay, you got to read the whole story.
Let's clear up the thing about the $750.
Listen,
that was a reach into their pocket. Here you go, $750 for your immediate needs.
exactly.
That's not for
why did they make
anything
a big
other
deal
than
out
that.
of it? Why did they make a big deal out of it?
Because a lot of people didn't understand what it was about.
Okay, a lot of the FEMA people, once they got there, they were threatened because what they heard Trump say, and a lot of them didn't want him on their grounds either.
Okay, now
so read the whole article.
That's just all talk.
Let's back up just a little bit. You're quoting what that FEMA lady who got fired is saying today. She is the one who said that she heard that people were threatening or possibly going to threaten FEMA if they came into their neighborhoods.
And that's why she did it for safety reasons. Not everybody, but some of these, especially if they had Trump signs outside, she was afraid if they go on their property, they might get hurt. Okay, that's the story.
That's where you go into law enforcement. If you have a fear like that, you just ask the cops to go with you.
Very far-fetched.
They had plenty of them there.
She was thinking of her people, and one or two houses, they didn't go on their property because of that. So let's not make it a deal. Look, the whole thing started because of this circus Parker said about the 750 and where's FEMA? Why isn't it FEMA there? And all blaming FEMA for everything, okay? And this is what you're going to get for the next 4 years, okay? Good luck.
We'll wait and see.
Oh, you will. Don't worry. He's not going to change. You're not going to change that guy. Trust me.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're done.
We'll see.
Are you a lawyer?
I think we're done today.
Are you a lawyer? Are you a lawyer?
No, I'm not a lawyer. I just want the whole story said. Don't just come out and say, "Oh, she was racist. She didn't go to this and that." I mean, tell it like it is.
Who said anything about racist?
Well, whatever you were talking
He's
about.
talking about with them saying about Trump. That's discriminatory.
Discriminatory, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that. All right, Rayford.
Yes.
Leave the Democrats alone. You won the race. You don't have to push it in any further. You won the race. Please talk about nice things that this guy's done and that you're happy about.
Okay.
I got one I'm happy about.
Okay,
so
we
far.
will.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you,
guys
Thea.
have a good day.
Bye, Thea.
Bye-bye.
Just wanted to put out a PSA for everyone traveling through South Carolina that 24 of the escaped monkeys have been found.
25 if you count the original first one. So
Right,
25
I'm just reading
total.
the report right
Yeah,
now.
the 24 additional ones. Yeah. Plus the first one, what was like
Can
a
I
day or
have
two
one?
ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they know where a lot of them are. I was just reading about that.
Well, can I have
They're
one?
along the fence.
Sure,
talking
you
to
can have
other-
one.
You know, I don't,
Oh,
I like animal testing. So I
Oh,
don't
you
want to talk
watch,
about
you
it.
watch.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to get sick, and they're accused the government of putting out deadly monkeys, and there's some kind of monkey virus, and we're all going to go back to wearing a mask, and here we go. Run, monkeys, run.
Climb the trees, monkeys. They can't get you there.
Says a sizable
Ask the
group
squirrels.
remain active near the fence line.
You got something, Kelly.
What do I have?
I don't know. You said I got something.
Well, he said to something that Trump has done so far. And my thing is Hamas running scared all of a sudden, wanting to do a ceasefire. So, yes, Trump has done some good because they know what's going to happen with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you got Putin all of a sudden. I called it. Now he's trying to talk about wanting to do something about Ukraine because, see, we've been a joke for 4 years. And Theo's wrong about one thing. Okay. People in a lot of the European countries are excited about Trump because in Ireland, I have been sent videos several times of people cheering when it came out. They were having election watch parties that Trump won. Great Britain, I've got several. I sent Lee a couple of them of people cheering on that. I did not realize that the Prime Minister of Great Britain is not a Trump fan. I did not know that. But a lot of the people are.
Jennifer, I swear.
So,
Hey, good morning. Got another caller. How are you?
Hey, it's Charlie. I just want to compliment the last caller that you guys had on the air. Very informative, educated, very articulate, made solid points.
He's a great
very
guy.
Convincing. No, he's an absolute idiot. So listen.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I said he's a great guy. He's still a great
Theo.
guy.
Yeah,
You guys were aware in 1977 when they came to you guys know what desegregation is, correct? Talking about putting black little children into white schools.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you guys are aware of Joe Biden's stance in 1977?
It would not surprise me with Joe Biden. I know that I've heard several times about his early days making a whole lot of racist statements. Have you heard those?
Let me ask you. Let me guys ask you this: very respectfully, let's say you travel to a jungle community, maybe it's in Asia or Africa. When you want to see wild animals, when you want to see beasts in their natural habitat, do you think of little puppy dogs or butterflies, or do you think of gorillas and apes?
No,
I think of lions and like a rhinoceros.
Elephants.
That's what I think. I love elephants.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
You know, you think of beautiful animals that are very wild. You don't think of little puppy dogs and little rabbits running around. So here's an absolute fact from 1977. When they talked about desegregation, they talked about, basically letting minorities, whether they're Amish, Asians, or Indians, or blacks, into white schools. Joe Biden was a vocal opponent.
Yep.
He did not want to put them into white. Here's exactly what he said. He said, if we put them in our schools, it will result in a racial jungle with tensions having built so high that it's going to explode at some point. I mean, think about that.
Yep.
Who would say that?
Was that 1977? Because we were desegregated.
We're looking at it right now during the U.S. Senate debate on busing for racial desegregation. In 1977, then Senator Joe Biden said, unless we do something about this, my children are going to grow up in a jungle.
Yeah.
The jungle being a racial jungle, with tensions having built so high that it's going to explode at some point. Mm-hmm. Who says that? This racist white. Are we allowed to use vulgarity on this show?
No, you cannot. Yeah, no.
Okay. So do you guys get what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
I mean,
I knew that he was. There was zero doubt. However,
no one's honed in on that.
We cannot go back like so many other people do on the other side of the coin here. Mm-hmm. We cannot go back to into history for somebody like Joe Biden. If Donald Trump had said anything similar to that, of which he said some disparaging things many times in the past, those are headline-making stories. Yeah. Joe Biden saying it in 1977, well, he's changed his mind.
Yeah.
That's the way
you don't
people
change your mind.
are.
If you're over the age of 30 and you refer to minorities as less than equal, if you're over the age of 30 and you think that your race is more superior than all other races, if you're 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, you're not going to change. Nobody ever talks about Joe Biden's relationship. Who was that white KKK guy that Joe Biden loved? What was that guy's name? He was part of the KKK.
Was it David Duke?
No. It was another guy.
There was another guy named Glenn Miller. He was heavily involved.
Oh, that guy.
I bumped into him a few times.
I don't know.
No, I think his name was Strom Thurmond.
Oh, Thurmond, yeah.
He was a South Carolina senator for 100 years.
Yeah.
He hated blacks. He hated blacks. But then one day, I don't know, maybe he had a nice breakfast and he goes, you know what? I like them. They're blacks. His whole thing changed. He was he was in the KKK. This was a monster that hated blacks. And this is Joe Biden. Joe Biden loved this guy. If you go online and type in Joe Biden and Strom Thurmond, you show them holding hands. This is a joke. Anyway, guys, listen, I got to go.
Okay, Charlie.
The last caller. All right, take care. Bye.
Bye. Okay, we're going to have to limit callers to like one call a day again. Repeat calling, and I know, Charlie, if you're still listening, but anyway.
I'm reading about this Chinese citizen that, again, has been arrested for trying to trespass into Mar-a-Lago. Like, I'm trying to figure out what this guy is trying to do, first of all. Two,
die
what kind of lax security is at this? Because apparently he's 39. I can't attempt and will not even attempt his name because I know I would say it totally wrong.
I can make up a funny name, but
he said he wants to speak with Trump. He says,
call him on the phone.
I mean, write him a letter, dude. Come on now. So now he's being he was arrested again. He had a pending charge for July. Now they've added this one to it. And now he's on $100,000 bail. I mean, he's not a U.S. citizen. He's here on a visa.
If you keep playing those games, you will be moved to another country. China, here.
Oh my. Okay. He told a Secret Service agent that he had information suggesting China was involved in the first assassination attempt. And he wanted to leave documents with them.
Well, good. Mail them.
I don't think that that's the case, but I hear you, buddy.
Put in the mail, certified documents, return whatever. You've got the numbers. You know what it is they can do to make sure it gets to you, and you'll know it when it gets there. Return receipt requested. Is that what it is? Madam Postal Person?
They
Yes,
detained.
return receipt
Well, they
requested.
detained him
Yes.
for a mental health thing, and then
That's a mistake.
let he released and he went back that same day.
Don't release nut jobs.
I just. Yeah.
Good morning.
Hey Tim.
Good morning.
How you, my donkey man?
Please come up with a new story.
Come up with what?
Something new and funny.
I don't know. After who all I've been listening to, there ain't a whole lot I can do. I will tell you, when he was talking about Joe Biden and about desegregation, what happened? They desegregated the South long before 1977.
Yeah.
Because I was in the second grade when that was going on, and what happened was when they went to the north and wanted to start desegregation, that's when
it hit the fan.
Exactly.
Well, I agree.
And that's what that was. I do remember my history a little bit, and that's what happened.
See, I lived it because in 1964 or 5, Jacksonville High School had the first African American student, and she was in my class. My class, which was a class of 66, we had the first African American student, and she dropped out before the school year was over. She dropped out fairly quickly. She had some medical things to deal with. But anyway, so
someone just texted me and said it wasn't Strom Thurmond who was referring to. It was Senator Byrd from West Virginia.
Yeah, but that's been disputed. Fact check.
Well,
I just saw that one.
You got to understand, Strom Thurmond, he started the Dixiecrat Party.
Yep.
Called Dixiecrat.
Yep.
I remember him talking about it, and when I was young, and Joe Biden was in part of that. He was very young when that went on, but they were part of it, and that was the time. That's the way it was back then during the time. So things have changed now. Leopards can't change their spots, but people are not leopards. They can't change their minds.
If you don't believe it, ask your wife.
Yeah, and I use that as an example. She probably in the 20s, when she was in her 20s, I'd be the last person she'd hang out with. But, and now, and I just tell her, I say, honey, you
wore
just
her
settled.
down.
All you did, yep, she settled for me.
No.
I mean, I said, baby, you just settled down for me. That's all it was.
There you
I'm
go.
the same trashy fool I was in school. I mean, I did not wear the Izod shirt with the little gator on it. I wore the poor man's Fox shirt. And I wore jeans, and I wore when I was in Trexler, I wore red Converse shoes, the canvas shoes, and the people looked upon you like, wow. And in the wintertime, I wore Brogans.
Yeah.
To keep my feet warm.
You want to know something about all that wardrobe stuff you're talking about? You know, Van Heusen was a big men's shirt thing, dress shirts, right?
Right.
Van Heusen. And all sorts of shirts and stuff like that. Yeah, they had their on them. You know that a lot of that stuff was farmed out to a company called Block Sportswear for men. They made men's clothing. They were located in Jacksonville, Wilmington. That was their southern headquarters. It started there on 3rd Street in Wilmington, and they expanded. And then they had companies all over everywhere doing the actual work. Actually, I had one in the Dominican Republic. But they also, because I know this, because I photographed their stuff for advertising purposes. And you'd get an Izod shirt in. It was the same shirt or it's the same stuff. They were contracted to do it. They were shipped a bunch of labels by Van Heusen for those shirts to put in the shirts that they were making for these other companies.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, baby. And then, of course, the other companies charged a whole lot more money for that label than the shirt actually cost.
Oh, yeah.
Just to let you know, I had a bunch of those really fancy shirts because when I photographed them, the models, they couldn't do anything with them. And we always picked models that were my size. Duh.
Yeah.
And so I got shirts free.
Well, that's not, there ain't nothing wrong with free enterprise halls. I'm
No,
afraid now.
that was what it was.
Professional service, and that was your tip.
There you go.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Private enterprise.
Yeah, private enterprise. But and now getting back to Theo's talking about FEMA. Yeah, and what happens when you have a disaster? Volunteers run in there right to start with, and FEMA assess the situation before they get in. But let me tell you something. I mean, you can go to Maggie Valley, Cherokee, all those in the Asheville, those tourist places. Oh, they want outsiders to come in. But when you get up in the deep in the heart of them mountains, they don't like government. They don't care if it's Democrat, Republican, whatever. They hate the government. They hate them because land has been stolen from their ancestors in the past. And they purebred hate. It's just like they're all died out now, I'm pretty sure. But you take Camp Lejeune right here. When Camp Lejeune came in here, they took land. And, oh, man, we had a guy down there that moved to Rosetown. His name was Tom Hurst. And if you don't think he didn't hate the federal government, because him and his family own land over here in Steve's Ferry, and I remember the story well. He told it so many times, and he said his dad told him, so you can have the land if you let me have the timber. So the timber was at the time was worth more than the land, and the federal government says no, we need the timber to build things. Okay, so they paid them pennies on the dollar. And like I said, I'm thinking they're about all died out now, but that was a big deal when I was growing up as a boy. They talk about that all the time. My dad used to talk about it.
My ancestors lived aboard what is now Camp Lejeune in the 1800s and up through the time that they were removed.
Yep.
And then they went in and dug up the family cemetery plots. And they have no idea
on some of them
where all of them are, and they were not marked as they were supposed to have been. They were moved, and no records were kept. You don't know who is in that plot that you call your great aunt.
All right, they uncovered remains that unidentified.
Yep.
So all this moved over to the Montford Point Cemetery. It's very interesting.
Yep.
The names and the dates.
But call them. I mean, it's just you don't go back up now. I've rode horses all back up in there, and they were very standoffish of you until you got to know them. When they found out you weren't from the government, they thought you were the government sneaking in there.
Well, one of the problems up in the hills of the great state of North Carolina, those foreign intervention people that were coming in, they were known as revenuers. And there's not a soul up in the hills of North Carolina that did not have relatives back in the day who were made their living from the product of the corn.
And it's amazing they'd have 5 acres of corn, but they never carried it to the grain. They never carried it to sell. They sold it as liquid corn. That's just the way it was. They do not, those old folks up there do not like government, period.
That's ingrained.
They come in there and say, FEMA, and it's going to be that way. South Carolina, Rayford, you know it as well as I do. The Civil War is still going on down there. And it's still talked about today.
The South will rise again.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. But that's all I had to holler at this morning.
Okay.
But I enjoyed y'all. I mean, the signal's doing great today. The Facebook signal hadn't gone out not one time. Everything is running.
Rayford fixed all that.
I blew some stuff up in here.
Yeah, that 4-pound sledgehammer works good, don't it?
It is 4 pounds. That's all it weighs is 4 pounds.
That's all it weighs, 4 pounds. Yeah. All right, y'all be good. I got to get off here. I got to head to Fort Macon this morning.
Be safe.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
And I wanted to ask you about that, Rayford. Fort Fisher.
Okay.
What exactly did they do recently?
Recently.
Yes.
Okay, to build they replaced the old museum and the visitor center. They call it a visitor center / museum there. It's just a small brick building built in 1965 or whatever.
Chris Marks. Yeah, I wanted to ask you that.
Yeah, but anyway, they replaced it. It's a beautiful 2-story structure.
Nice.
They've also, we're going back. Robbie and I, we didn't have time. But we're going back because we want to go through the place where they
bunkers?
say no. I want to go through those again too. I went through some of them way back when, but not in 1865. That was
Right.
since then. But it's an earthen fort. It's not like one with big stockades or anything like that. They were protecting themselves by getting underground in bunkers from shelling from those interlopers coming from up north.
Right.
The dang Yankees, you know,
Yeah.
they were shooting at them. And of course, we actually ended up with a gun there, and Chris will be with you in just a second. We ended up with a gun there that was used there during the Civil War that had a longer range than the ship's guns.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were able to keep those Yankees further offshore, and you get close enough and then you become fish food. Hey, Chris, how are you?
Good morning, Rayford. I'm doing well. How are you and the ladies doing?
Good morning.
You and Kathy look great up there. Kathy,
Yes, she
sticking her
did.
head out of that top of that car, all
I tell
dressed
you
up
what,
in blues.
She made me very proud.
Oh,
As did all the veterans.
She
As
should
did
be.
you folks back there. Well, I tell you what. So you look sharp back there, and appreciate you all being in that parade.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
this was just the beginning.
And your pictures were wonderful, Rayford.
Thank
Whoever
you.
took
Yes,
them.
they
I think
were.
it was you.
That was
Yeah, it was
Rayford.
great
Yeah,
picture.
it was him.
It was just fun shooting everything. I wish I should have put them all up, but I could not. Facebook cuts me off after a while.
Well, they don't know what they're missing. But
Yeah.
I want to first say Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans.
Absolutely.
And
2 hours from now, it will be official.
yes, it will. And speaking of veterans, just want to give everybody an update. The Coastal Carolina Veterans Cemetery, we're up to 1,397
Oh, good.
Wonderful.
wreaths. So we're almost a quarter of the way there
God
to
damn.
6,000. And I'll be hitting the streets this week, going to businesses, trying to get them to contribute. I just want to make something clear. If the listeners go to the national site, you're not going to get the buy two, get one free.
Right. Go to your site.
You need to go to my site. I've made it very easy, thanks to Reach Across America National Office, that they created a real simple link. You go to that, it'll be easy peasy. Thank
Okay,
you for
what is
time.
your site direct? Can we go to your site direct?
Yes, it's wreaths honoring our fallen veterans. So if you go to my Facebook page, it's posted on there. I update it every day.
Wreaths honoring our fallen veterans.
Fallen veterans, yes. So if you Google Wreaths Across America, Jacksonville, click on Jacksonville, go in the top right-hand bar, and just put in NC 0611. It'll take you right to the page. And you'll buy two. This is a little, I know it's a little misleading, but if you put in there and you custom and buy two, the third one automatically kicks in.
Okay. I don't want to, I'm trying to do this exact. Wreaths, WREATHS, right?
Correct.
Honoring, HONORING.
No, that's his Facebook.
That's on Facebook.
Okay, I want your
You'll find
direct
it on
website. How do you have a direct website?
Okay,
It does
I-
not.
I
No.
will. Yeah. Well, I actually do have one. I have a website, a page, and I also have a direct website. I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
If you'll just be kind enough to click it and put the link on there,
I
it'll
got
be
you.
easy for everybody.
Yeah, okay, because I tried to do that and it didn't work. It said try again.
Yeah.
You email that. You got my email, right?
Yes, sir. I will send it to you.
Thank you. I will do it that way. I like it going
Yes.
direct. That way I am absolutely
Right.
assured that nobody intercedes.
No.
Right.
I'll make sure of it too, Rayford. Don't worry.
Okay.
I got you covered.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you. And thank you for the show.
Yeah, I
Have a good
appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, Veterans Day, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, coming up in a little less than 2 hours. It's at 1100 hours.
Right.
So take a moment, if nothing else, and just pause
Mm-hmm.
at 11 o'clock. Okay?
Say a prayer for all of our
all-
servicemen that are overseas too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All of this dates back to Armistice Day after
Yes.
World War I,
Yes.
or the Great War. It wasn't World War One.
That's right.
It was the Great War, the war to end all wars, and we know how that worked out for us.
It only became World War One after World War Two.
Yeah, all of that before my time.
Mine too.
Barely.
My
Not that-
dad was in World War World War II,
So
right at
was
the
mine.
very end of it.
Yeah. Mine was in it after about the second year or whatever. They wouldn't let him go to begin with because he was essential personnel back in this country.
Oh,
Worked at the shipyard building big ships.
oh, well, that's important.
And,
We have to have the
He
ships.
finally had to quit because they kept signing up. They
Yes.
said, no, we're not going to let you go. So he said, I quit. He finally quit after a year. And you know what really got him going? And my mother's told the story many times too. They would go to the theater because they didn't have TV. Of course, they went to the movies. And they
Right.
would go when it was 25 cents to get in.
Oh my gosh.
And so they would go to the movies, and men his age did not exist in those movies.
Wow.
He was looked at with kind of everybody, what are you doing here? Why aren't you
yeah.
there fighting?
Why aren't you over? Yes.
It was a stigma. So he said, I quit because I couldn't, they didn't understand. I'm working at the shipyard. They didn't care.
Good for
Find
him.
somebody else. So I quit and joined the Navy
There you go.
and stayed seasick for 55 days on the trip over and just wandering around. He said, my mother said they were lost for a month or
Imagine.
something, but in the ocean. They weren't. The ship just was not receiving mail or giving its position.
Right.
Okay. We will see you
Right.
tomorrow. And I'm sure I will have something else smart alecky to say.
Okay.
And I think maybe tomorrow I'll discuss with y'all Lee.
If you read the story on Facebook, it was totally 100% embellished.
Accurate.
That's all I'm going to say.
It was accurate.
It was
You were in
embellished.
the back seat. You can tell. Was that story accurate or what?
I will say we did utter the words, did Rayford fall out of the truck?
I kept saying, Rayford, hold on.
I can't hear you there.
When you're making a
So-
45-degree turn and there's a
On two
dip
It
in
was
the
not
road
45 degrees. It
On
was
two wheels?
It's a 90-degree turn, and the right wheels were up. as you
I
were turning left.
never
You
went
should-
over
you
24
never-
miles per hour.
Oh, baloney. That was 24 miles per hour per
Plus.
wheel.
Right.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll continue this battle then.
Yeah, okay.
And I did not call her a woman driver because women drivers don't drive that way. Hell drivers do. You're lying in
What?
local real talk.
This is beat up on Lee today?
Absolutely. You beat up on me Saturday. I still was on top of bruises. And we will see you tomorrow morning beginning at 0900. That's 9 a.m. for the rest of you. Have a great rest of your day and be safe.